Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's your host once again, and Cheng from SuperCharge Lab on behalf of the AI Partnerships Corp for the AIP podcast. Welcome back to yet another episode of the AIP podcast. And this year, 2023, it's gonna be amazing, and we're super excited to kickstart the first collaboration piece that we're ever gonna do. So this is a podcast session with two of affiliates, ScriptString and the SQA group. Now, with me today, I have two guests, Sylvia, who's CEO of ScriptString, and she is an entrepreneur with extensive experience in business, fintech, and digital transformation. Her passion is in helping others, influencing change, delivering results, all the best things in life, right? And Sylvia's leadership promotes challenging the status quo to deliver innovative solutions. And as president of ScriptString, her diverse skill set covers leadership, technology, finance, and operations. And over to the other side, we have Carrie. And Carrie is VP of Growth Strategy at SQA Group. Carrie sets up corporate strategy, drives new service incubation and launches, steers marketing and communication strategy, and ensures that SQA Group is continually driving towards next level growth. Oh my God, these two women are powerhouses. So a huge warm welcome to you ladies. It's so good to have you guys here today.
It's very nice to be here today. Thank you. Thank you for having us, Anne.
So great to be here.
Absolutely, Carrie and Sylvia, it's so good to have you guys. So it's super fun when we see that, the AIP affiliates connect with each other and come together and do something amazing. So tell us this story. How did you get to know each other? How did you get into this collaboration?
Yeah, sure. So maybe I'll go first. So we are part of the affiliate program, and we've been working with sort of other affiliates since June 2021. And through looking for some resources, I posted a message on the affiliate board and, reached out, had a conversation with one of Carrie's teammates, and then got introduced to Carrie. And I have to say, we've been chatting ever since. I think it's really the reason why it's the companies both share the passion for data, passion for AI, and passion for impact. So it was a natural fit for us to explore synergies and see how we can collaborate. Carrie, not sure if you want to add anything.
It's been so fun. And I love that we're your first collaboration for the podcast. That's great to hear. And I echo everything Sylvia said. I think something that both companies are really passionate about is being a hub that our clients can come to, where we also know other partners and other companies that would just add the value that each of our companies is bringing individually. So we're all really focused on community building and partnerships and, really understanding where to send people as they need advice as they're navigating really complex data and technology challenges. So it's been so fun to get to know Sylvia's team. We all, I think, share this passion for data for good and data for change, and just making sure that anything that we do with artificial intelligence or technology is just really aimed at building a better world. And you don't find that all the time. So it's been awesome to connect on that ideology as well.
That is so excellent. So both of you target sustainability and impact leaders, specifically as it relates to them leveraging both AI and advanced analytics solutions. Maybe you can tell our listeners a little bit more about why and how your firms target this specific space.
So we focus on small and mid-size impact and ESG investment management firms and other organizations with sustainability reporting requirements. And there's a couple of reasons, main reasons for that. Today, the customers and investors are placing a much greater emphasis on environmental and social responsibility, which means that a lot of the organizations that for some time have been ignoring these things, unfortunately will have consequences, whether it's financial risk and other risk. And another key factor is that the government is introducing new regulations, and this is happening I feel like on a weekly basis, you're hearing new headlines of things coming down the pipeline. And with this means additional regulatory reporting requirements, specifically related to environmental, social responsibility. And again, this means, a lot of sort of risk for a number of organizations. So this is really where we come in. What we offer, ScriptString AI, is a software for sustainability. And it's to help sort of those organizations mitigate the risk and streamline their reporting practices with end-to-end automation.
And we come in, so SQA Group, sustainability in the impact space is a little bit new for us. Our roots have historically come in supporting software and engineering leaders, data and BI leaders, and so on. But we're really passionate because we're seeing a real surge in whether it's leaders of ESG, CSR, DEI, that data is now their responsibility as well. And that's been, I think, a really empowering moment for the impact space, that they are just as able and really well-positioned with organizations to use data to enact change. So SQA Group comes in with these leaders, and we really look at their data strategies, their approach to KPIing, the way that they're telling their impact stories through the use of metrics and quantifying their impact. And for us, it's really great because we're helping them tell stories that they were right there in the data and the system, but they weren't quite sure how to harness the data and elevate the insights to tell the story of what they're doing. So we are typically brought in for organizations that are looking to validate their work and are looking to tell the shareholders, their boards, their fellow colleagues why their impact work matters. And a lot of that comes back to just how are they using the data? Are they unearthing it, or is it laying dormant? And then, of course, applying advanced analytics once we've gotten to base foundational levels so that we can start to get into things like artificial intelligence and advanced analytics.
That is superb. So a question specific to Sylvia. What are you seeing as top reporting challenges for sustainability leaders today?
That is a good question. And I think this is sort of, back to piggyback on what Carrie was talking about. Within sustainability, some of the key concerns is really issues related to climate change and environmental issues. And with reporting on sort of, number of taking into consideration the reporting requirements, the ever-changing, and if you're thinking of the triple bottom line, which is people, planet, and profits, you have a lot of different moving parts. So it's really that big data, being able to look for solutions that can track sort of the big data, analyze the data in a significant way, which those organizations that are small to mid-size, they have limited resources, and it is very difficult sort of, for them to do. Another challenge sort of for these leaders is looking at the strategy and then being able to align sort of that strategy specifically with sustainability goals. The leaders are forced with, when they are looking at sustainability and being able to evaluate, some of the initiatives that they might be thinking of, what is the ROI on that? How is this going to create long-term value for my organization? And now I need to be able to really communicate the impact to my stakeholders, both sort of, investors, customers, and employees. So it is a very big challenge. There is a lot of moving parts, and it takes a big strategy to put all those pieces together.
That is fantastic. So let's go over to the more data side of things. Big question to Carrie. In the world of advanced analytics and progressive measurement, what should impact leaders be measuring? What is truly the future of KPIing?
Yeah, it's the thing we're most excited about right now. We definitely believe, and I think Sylvia's firm kind of shares this belief as well, on this whole data for good and data for change movement, that a lot of how we've been measuring is tied to an old business paradigm that just no longer exists for the world that we're in today. So something that we're really excited about helping impact leaders, sustainability, really any business leader think about is we can't run our businesses with data points that were built from yesterday. It just doesn't match the current climate that we're in today. So when we think about progressive KPIing and we think about kind of the bad data cultures that have also been created over the years, we have to just understand that bad data culture existed because of things like vanity metrics or data siloing. or, kind of puffing your chest in the boardroom to brag about your metrics that they're not telling the full story. So what we really want to see in this new era of work is leaders taking a stance to say, I want to measure differently. I want to measure things that maybe I can't Google, or maybe things that seem immeasurable, but they are measurable, so that we can get to the real core of what we should be tracking, calibrating, and really reporting on back to our business stakeholders. And I think there's a lot of times this misconception that the softer sides of business can't be measured. Like, how do you measure true belonging or impact, or, as Sylvia said, people, planet, profit? But you can measure all these things. You can do it from both the ways we've always known them to be true, but we can also revolutionize the approach to it. So I think it's an exciting time. I think that what we're seeing as just, leaders across all industries, that we can do really neat things with data and measurement. We just have to be willing to ask different questions, and then be brave enough to re-aim our teams to do the behaviors and actions that would move the needle in these new metrics.
Great. So you guys are always in conversation with, people in the impact space all day long. So what are you hearing straight from these leaders? What's really on their mind, and what keeps them up at night?
Yeah, I can sort of, so I mean, we've been chatting with a lot of folks specifically in investment management, and they have sort of, really key priorities. It hasn't, environment, it's still one of those biggest priorities, really sort of, for any sustainability leaders, just because of what's happening. Some of the regulations that we sort of, chatted about. So it is focus, climate change, carbon reduction. It's one of those biggest priorities. Everybody's talking about it and have been talking about it for some time. But there's a number of new solutions, a number of additional regulations like Scope 3 that are being sort of rolled out throughout sort of, pretty much globally. As well, circular economy and waste reduction, again, sort of tied back to the environment, but as well, sort of social responsibility and equity. These are the things that are becoming priorities, are becoming mandates, specifically for impact investment organizations. It's something that is very, very important to them, and they are building that sort of, those KPIs and different ways to measure impact into their strategies and how they're doing things. And more often, where this is not new, probably trend, but it's coming to light very quickly. We're hearing about governance. We're hearing about data security, which always hasn't been, I think, part of sustainability traditionally, but it is becoming important because it's all about obviously sharing sensitive data. It is big data. It's looking at AI technology. Is AI responsible? And a number of sort of, other topics and considerations that these leaders have to take into account.
I was smiling when you said governance, Sylvia, because I was remembering how when we first built our approaches to what data strategies would look like as we would build them for our clients, we had a big debate about governance and whether people would hear the word and just think it's not exciting and it doesn't have that, shiny object feel. But I'm so encouraged by, as you said, the conversations that clients are coming to us and wanting to understand governance and understand how to organize their teams and their policies to make sure that they're collecting and harnessing data the right way. So hopefully we're seeing just even a tide of understanding and change coming. So to just build upon what Sylvia said, and we're seeing similar things as well. One of the big things that I think is a theme in both companies is the ROI of the impact. And I think the sustainability space really realizing that to do their most important work and the work that's in their hearts and souls, it has to connect to the greater macro of the business and the business health. So I think it's exciting. I think it's nerve-wracking for these leaders, right? I think that they're having to use data in a way that goes beyond just that it feels good and it's mission-based. It really needs to show that it's moving the needle. It's making the business money. It's affecting the ability to acquire customers and retain their employees. And that's the stuff that in the mission space we don't want to talk about because it's not what moves our hearts, but it's really important to then get the belief and the momentum in our organizations to do our most important work. So I'm excited. I think that there's a new era for the impact leader, almost akin to what other departments went through years ago, where they had to shift from being viewed as the cost center to a revenue generator. And I think sustainability and impact leaders are poised to be revenue generators, and the data can help them just really prove the incredible work that they're doing.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to it because it is, sometimes sustainability, as Carrie sort of mentioned, it's looked upon as, it's going to, how much is this going to cost us? But there is so many benefits to sustainability when you are looking just even sort of, at energy efficiencies and reduction. It can really create a lot of opportunities and cost savings and ability to create a brand that now it's a sustainable brand, and you can just enter new markets. And there is sort of, those synergies that you start creating that you didn't have before. So I think it's sometimes that, view of what benefits, can sustainability and being a sustainable organization can bring into that value creation. It's really looking at it strategically, looking at the opportunities, and very quickly when you start doing that, so you will recognize, and I mean, we did sort of ourselves, even as a software provider, that there is a lot of opportunities within the market to take advantage of those opportunities.
That is amazing. Thank you, Sylvia. And thank you, Carrie. I think that's just about as much time as we have for today. Let's finally close up with how can all our listeners get in on the action with the two of you? If I was an impact leader, if I was concerned about sustainability, what do I do?
That's a good question. I would encourage impact leaders to look for solutions, look for flexible tools that can integrate with their existing systems, existing processes to really maximize the sustainability program and the investment that they are going to make. In my opinion, it is we are AI software firm. So look at solutions that use AI. Use AI, use sort of automation, and it is going to save you time. It's going to save you money, and it's going to streamline that process for you and minimize the risk. What we've developed as a baseline sustainability assessment, a scorecard that you can use for free. It's on our website. So if you visit ScriptString.com, you will see it sort of, in the top corner on the right-hand side. I welcome you to visit as well. Be curious and chat with folks. I'm always happy to connect. You can find me on LinkedIn, and happy to share sort of, some thoughts and have a chat.
Yeah, I would add two things. I think the first is for a lot of the sustainability and impact leaders out there, they are stepping into data in a way that they never have before, and it can be overwhelming, but really exciting. So what I would encourage all leaders to think about is they can do something revolutionary with data. One of our service offerings that we are most excited about is our metrics finder, and it really is focused around helping organizations measure the immeasurable. And our belief is you can truly measure anything that you're talking about, anything that you're daydreaming about. So I would just say to the sustainability and impact space, choose to believe that you can measure differently, you can measure more holistically and futuristically, and that's empowering for your seat in your organization and the stories that you can tell. And the second is, this kind of builds on what Sylvia is saying about being curious and connecting, is to find thought partners. This is, for a lot of us, a new space. There is new opportunity. There are new questions that we have every day. So find your thought partners. I love getting to connect with people, as Sylvia said, and share what you're doing, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what's on your mind, because we learn in community with each other. And it really goes to help our education and understanding when we talk about the things that we're most uncertain of, as well as the things that we're most excited about.
Well, great. Thank you, ladies, for your time. And really, to all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in to this very important conversation about sustainability and impact. Once again, my name is Cheng. I'm from SuperCharge Lab. I'm part of the AIP podcast, and I am signing off, wishing you a great and spectacular day, everybody. Thank you.